Good evening. I'd like to call the Northwood Board of Selectmen's meeting to order at 6 o'clock on November 7th, 2017 at 6 p.m.
Donald Huston here.
Rick Wolf.
Scott Pryor.
Now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess we don't have any citizens forum tonight. Would anybody like to speak in public comment? Seeing none, I guess we'll move on. We don't have any public hearings tonight. Moving on to budget review. I guess emergency management is first, Mr. Bob Young.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. We are going for level funding. As you can see from page 14, there are some changes in the expenditures. We have recently purchased, what was it, a dozen?
Yes.
Dozen cots, mil-spec cots, because when we did check the ones that we do have, they were in a very sad situation, as you probably are aware of. Joe's been kind enough to find us some space temporarily for them, but once we're finished with this, I do have a question because there is an issue.
Wait a minute, my page 14 is
Page
fine.
15.
15.
It's 15.
Wait a minute.
Well, I don't have a page on it.
No,
so-
well, I was on page 14 on my thing too.
Yeah.
Actually, page 15.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So the question would be anything on this, and then I'll bring up the other issue, which Joe and I have discussed a little bit.
I don't have any questions on this.
Okay, the issue is that one of the things we've discovered is limited amount of storage, certainly in the building here. And so what I would like to do is get a small box trailer, because we have stuff all over town. We've got blankets in various parts of different fire stations. There's some in my barn. We'll be getting a dozen cots now and another dozen cots. And the thought was, and Sandy and I were discussing, was that if we had a place that we could put them in, like a mobile closet, that when we do go down to the school, if we were to open that up, we just pull the whole thing with us. So the question would be, if we were to get that, would we put an additional monies into the budget for next year, put it in as a warrant item, or Joe had suggested that overspend this year's budget? So I'm leaving that up to you. We're talking about under 2,000. We're looking at a small box trailer. Yeah,
Yeah, just quickly, what are you talking, something like a U-Haul trailer?
something like a
Yeah,
U-Haul.
okay.
Okay,
I
you know
get
what
what
I'm
you're
saying.
talking
In
about.
other words, a
Okay.
small,
Yeah,
small-
almost like a snowmobile trailer, but
Absolutely, only just,
Like a
something.
5x7 or
5x7,
something.
so,
Something small.
I've gone over to Barrington, I've been to both Northwoods, and you're looking at anywhere from 1.5 to 1.9, so under 2,000. So that would be for your considerations that, those are the three options, is we either add it to next year's budget and purchase it after March. We put it in as a warrant item if you don't want it in the actual budget, or we overspend this year's budget.
I think, just from my view, I think a warrant article for $1,500 is a little excessive. I think if
Absolutely.
my opinion is put it in the budget. I know you probably don't want to wait till March, but I don't want to particularly overspend the
Sure,
budget.
sure.
That's just my opinion.
What do we have for, what do we have, did we order, like, I know we had another purchase that was a higher than we expected. What is the, do we have a good handle on how much surplus we're gonna have yet?
Sandy and I are gonna wait till the next meeting. She's gonna figure out, how much payroll is gonna come out over the next few months. And then we'll have a more solid figure. I know I've been saying that for the last few weeks, but I wanna give you guys a solid number. I don't wanna just guess at it.
So I'm comfortable with going either way. I'll just leave it in your hands or Joe's hands, how you decide to do that, but that is one of the purchases we want to make.
I mean, I'm also not against if we have the money in the
Sure,
budget to
sure.
overspend. I'm just, leery. I'm comfortable either way too. I just think the warrant article is a little excessive
It's
for
excessive,
$1,500. That's just my.
but knowing the way we have done
Business
purchases in
before,
the past,
yes.
I had proposed that
Yeah.
rather
Have
than.
you, have we got a price on this already, like? you
We've
went up
got,
with
a range of prices, but basically it is anywhere from 1,500 to 1,900.
Now, my other question is where would we store it? Is that something that you want to keep at your place because you do most of it, or keep here?
I
or
think it would
just
be
in
best to
general?
keep it here because it might not be me who's pulling it.
Right, right.
And having a smaller trailer, one of those problems, we do have the Capital Area Public Health Network trailer in town
Mm-hmm.
with all of the pod supplies. And in an emergency, I can also get sheltering supplies out of that
Mm-hmm.
as well. But the town itself doesn't have anything. So if we left it, say, in the back of the town hall with having the fire department and emergency management and town hall having keys to the back of it. Because unfortunately, or we could keep it at the Narrows too, I mean, just off to the side.
There's a lot of trees out
just
here,
wondering-
pine trees, and the
It's
limbs
just-
worry
just
me.
a question of where we were going to keep it.
Trailer.
That's all.
Yeah, I'd rather not keep it at my property only because it's town.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that, it's town property, should be kept on town
Could
property.
be shipped on town property, yes.
I would think the Narrows Station would be a better
What's your
spot
pleasure,
than here.
Scott? Do you
Yeah.
want to put it in this year's
the
budget, or do
police
you want to
station?
wait and see if we can overspend
If
it?
we're talking $1,900, I think we'll have that. I don't, but I know that, one of the things is we need it's my opinion, we need to get that financial software. And, I'm not saying, well, yeah, I think the financial software is something we need to get. But I think coming up with $1,900 at the end of the year is not like something that's like really, should be like.
And the thing is, we're looking at a
Well, what did we have for surplus last year? We have like.
I'm not saying the $1,900 is going to be out of what we controlling either.
No, I didn't
That's
say
not what I
so,
was
but
saying.
I was just saying, well, but we're also spending additional money to get that financial
I know.
software. too.
I agree that, not that this isn't important, but obviously being able to do the books is a touch more.
Because last year, I think we had over 100,000, right?
Yeah, this is not, as of 12/3 last year, and that's not the final figure, there was
Yeah,
427,000.
I mean.
But that was not the closed out figure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But now that the three of you are aware of it, and Joe will stay on top of it, either it will show up in the budget, be voted on in March, we'll get the thing in April, or we just overspend this year's
I
budget.
think we probably, at least, if we were going to do it in the budget this year, at least, 3 different trailers to choose from, just so we have kind of
Oh, yeah,
or just pick one.
we can get,
I mean, they're all basically the same, it's just a matter of
Exactly.
pricing, that's all.
one of the things, I tried looking at the state, but they just had the large trailers.
Yeah, we
It
don't
takes a
need.
fairly good-sized vehicle to tow it,
Well, the 5x7 you talk about, you could basically tow with pretty much anything.
anything. Even the town truck.
Yeah, I would hope they can haul it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay,
Yep,
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
that's it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next.
Next is Dale, I guess.
Take care of what's the code enforcement, 14. Is he on 14 too, or is that the wrong number?
No, he's on
15.
15.
Oh, you're off.
Yeah, I'm off today.
Looks like you didn't.
He looks pretty level too.
Yeah, all except for, the only thing that changed was salary, but that's all the Kohler steps and stuff like that.
Thank you for the opportunity to come here. I'm level funded. In fact, actually, there's one line that even went down. There's just nothing there. It is what it is.
Yeah. The fuel went down.
Right.
Obviously, we're not.
I use my own personal vehicle, not the town vehicle.
Yeah.
So we went down on fuel.
hopefully.
Questions?
I'm good with that.
I'm good.
They could all be that easy, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry we had to
Actually,
bring
they
you out for
have
this,
fairly
but-
been fairly decent this year. It hasn't been too bad. There hasn't been anything too crazy.
Is that it?
That's it, thank you, unless you got something else.
Page 19 for Health Department.
Health Department on page 19.
Ditto. What I just said, ditto.
Didn't get out that easy.
It's just the stuff, yeah,
Basic, the stuff that we,
I have no questions with health department.
yeah, me neither.
Everything on here is stuff that we have to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing,
I've got nothing,
we're not
I've got no
asking for
issues with
anything.
it.
I guess you're free again if you're
Thank
on
you.
quick.
Thank you.
Judy's up next. We're moving you along. We held you up the last time, so we'll get you out quick tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
So what, we got 3 elections next year?
3 elections next year. So you'll see all of
Another
your
big one.
voter registration, moderator, and elections are all increased to reflect those.
Yep.
They're added to elections.
So
That's
which
the
one are we
only.
doing first, tax collector or?
Moderator's on page 1.
Oh, I don't care, I was just wondering.
No,
which
but I
one
was saying,
first.
because it's, well, I was
They're
just saying,
all basically
elections
the
is
same
first.
reason, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the tax collector's hers.
Yeah, I don't care which one we do, just as
Voter
long as I know, as
registration.
long as I'm looking at the right page. That's all I care about.
Did we already do the clerk?
Nope,
Nope,
Oh, it's under tax
it's
collector?
under tax collector.
Okay.
start review.
The moderators basically, that's fine, I don't have any issues with that one, so we can get that one out of the way.
You guys are good with moderator?
Yeah, I mean, the 3 elections, that's the only thing that went up.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Same thing with the other 2, the elections and voter registration. Those are the same on it. Oh, what I don't have is. Restoration of records? Yeah, but that's, I do want to I do don't an know if I adjustment printed on it. that one.
Do
I
the
didn't
ballot
print it.
clerks go under elections?
Ballot clerks are under elections, yes.
Okay.
Salary clerks and
Yeah,
counters.
okay.
And counters, yeah, counters.
I'm okay with that one too.
Yep, and voter registration. And then just, let's do restoration of records. I don't know what.
Yeah, I
page
didn't
that's
print
on.
that one off.
3? Is that on page 3?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's in there at the same price as was in last year, which was the 60, wait a minute, let me get my papers here.
What are we looking at now?
6,130.
Restoration of
Restoration of
records, okay.
records.
Yep, I see it now.
It was in last year for 6135,
Yep,
and we kept it in there at the same. Well, I've gotten the quote from CoFile, and I think this year it would be best if we go, we have 2 options. There's nothing left on the quote that covers that 6135. Last year, he held the 6135, even though the quote was for 6755. So we got a big discount. But the next 2 are 6855, so that means an increase of $720. But I'm thinking, because the budget is a little bit higher this year anyway, if we pop down to the volume 21, which is only 3930, and drop the line instead by $2,200 for this year.
you think that's reasonable to do what you just said?
Those are your options. You can either increase by 720, or you can drop by 2205
We dropping the 2205.
On the same thing?
on the same
restoration of
line, because what.
Wait, we're
what I
talking
have-
about restoration of records,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
There's
and
only
I
one
have-
line there.
Right,
Right.
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying, that
You want to
line,
put 2 lines.
that amount, no,
No,
that amount
one line,
is
right.
not equitable to anything that I've got for a quote.
Okay.
So we
what-
either have to increase it by 720,
Or decrease.
or decrease it by
Are we gonna get- If we
2205.
decrease it, are we gonna get the same?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just that the volume that has to be done at that 2205 less is smaller
Yep.
and doesn't take as much work to do it. That's why the price is cheaper.
Okay.
These 2 that have to be done, that are heavier, the 6855 ones, they're big books and the spline is all
Yep.
separated and everything. It's gonna take a lot of work.
I got a
so-
question at the state level, and I bring this up every year.
I know,
I know.
I know what you're
They
gonna say.
did, we're digitalizing everything.
What's that? They digitalized them?
I mean, everything's going online, digitalized. Why do we still gotta make these hard copies?
Um,
I mean, you gotta have the records, but electronic, if the records are available electronically, why do we need these bound books?
what are you going to do with the books that you have? Because they're molding and everything else downstairs in that room.
So you're ever getting books that we've already done, redone, because they're
That's right.
molding?
Exactly.
So we gotta keep remolding them and remolding?
No, because once you get to a certain point, they're gonna be gone. There aren't gonna be any more. We sat back for quite a few years and didn't do any.
Yeah.
So these are the ones to catch us up. We've got 2, 4, 5 books altogether to catch us
I'm
up.
okay with going with a lower quote if you think that's gonna give us the same quality and it's
Oh,
only.
yeah, it's the same
I'm
quality.
okay
It's
with
just that the book itself is smaller.
Right.
So they're giving us
A
a
little less
lesser
work.
price, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay?
Yep.
So drop that down to, $39.30,
That whole line,
that whole line,
okay.
okay? And that gives you the film, that gives you the scan, that
39.30.
gives you the actual binding. So we have, you know,
And it gets the same amount. You're gonna get as much done, or
all
you,
of that stuff done, yep.
just by going to a smaller book, you're saving
Smaller
that
book.
much?
Yep,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
All right.
All right, we'll take care of that. That one's done
On
now.
to
Cross that one off.
town clerk tax collector.
Restoration of records. Where-
What you guys did moderator, you guys were happy with elections?
Yeah.
Alright, and then restoration of records. Were you happy with voter registration?
It's
Yeah.
the same thing,
Same
too.
thing, I'm okay
It's
with
all the
that,
same. They're all, the same category.
So
of
we'll just move right on to tax
increasing costs.
collector.
Yeah.
Tax collector, page 5.
And I think that is basically level funded too, from what I saw.
There's an increase. Part of it is because the deputy line is higher.
Yep.
Which,
It's because we have 3 elections.
no, this is because her step increase.
Yep, that's normal.
But if she takes over for me,
That's gonna change.
it's gonna change.
Now,
The new one, I don't, if you
we'll
hire
start
a new
lower,
one,
probably
we'll start lower, so.
Now, I don't know if I can say this, but if she takes over, she'll be making exactly what you make automatically, or does
That's
she
the,
start
that's
low
the
too?
voted in
Okay.
salary.
I
for
was,
town clerk
that was
tax
my
collector.
question,
Yeah,
that was just my question. So
Yeah.
that line won't change.
correct,
Okay.
yeah. And then the other thing that increased was the, current use line. And I noticed you guys have knocked that down. No, you didn't, I'm sorry. It was in there for $50 last year, and we've way overspent because of all the different current use penalties that have gone out this year. We have to have them recorded at the registry, so
What line is that?
it's
Oh, I see it. I got it. I got it.
450.
Yeah.
Yeah, 330, yep, I got
Okay,
it.
that went up by $250. And the other one that is up is training, and that one I increased it because if you get a new deputy in, she's gonna
need
have to go to training.
Yep.
So that was the reason
They all
for
make
that.
sense.
Now, how'd you budget the health and debt? Because what do you got, another, when's your term over? Or
My
you'll-
term is up in March.
Yeah. So this is your last year?
Okay, I have not put in my resignation as yet.
I'm just looking
Okay,
at from a
no, I know,
budgetary,
I
I'm
know,
not,
I know.
okay.
So I had said that it would be December 31st, but because of the 10-day, you have to hold the books open for taxes until the 10th. I think I'm gonna have to be at least until the 10th, because she can't close out my books, I have to do that.
So it's
I think it's gonna
January
be at
10th.
least for that,
Yeah.
and there are some things going on that I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will let you know when it is going to be.
Okay.
All right?
Then I had another question, because you had mentioned this to me in passing. So she runs for election this March, hypothetically.
Yep, yes.
Has there been is there a listing, like you had mentioned that a lot of the tax collectors, this position in other towns gets retirement?
And I do have paperwork on that. I didn't know if you wanted to bring that up tonight or not, because,
Well, I mean, a decision hasn't been made on that because.
Correct.
Okay.
so, I mean, I do have some stuff that I've gotten in from the Town Clerk Tax Collectors Association regarding
How many people,
benefits and, yeah.
so how many,
Well, no, it's not the fact of how many do, it's the fact that they can do.
oh, I know they
As
can,
a-
I know that statutorily you can, yeah.
Okay, well, all right, because it's been, it's been nosed around that they couldn't, but I do know,
No,
of
it
two
was-
immediately.
I know a lot of times it was me, and I said, when you run for an elected position, you know what you're running for.
Yes, you have told me that
Yeah.
several times.
So like, it wasn't like, I never said they couldn't get it, I just said, well, right now, when you ran, you knew what you were running
Yeah,
for.
yeah. I know two immediates, Epsom and Pittsfield both get it,
Okay.
all right? I do know that. And it's not based on the fact that they work,
If we called retirement system, would they be able to tell us that?
definitely.
Could-
And I
Joe,
got
could
something in the mail
Sandy
today
and Joe could reach out to retirement and see how many towns pay their,
I can. Through the town of Peterborough. They do it on a 37.5-hour week person. They pay retirement. And their individual does, she has vacation, sick leave, the whole thing. They do the same thing as what every employee does.
well,
But
let me
that's-
ask you,
that's
let me
not
ask
what
you
I'm
this.
looking for.
Do some towns, and this is different, do some towns, is that an appointed position?
No, not a town clerk.
It's always
A
elected.
town clerk has to
So
be
how
an
do they
elected
figure out,
position.
because obviously her pension's gonna be, assuming she or he, whoever runs,
Yeah,
the pension's based on the salary.
correct. So
So-
the salary is a set figure.
In every single town, and in some
No,
towns, the
each-
salaries
each
have,
in- Each individual town has a different salary for each,
but don't they sometimes have salary ranges?
Oh, you mean taking step ranges and so forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the same thing as what Joe
They're in
would
the
do, or
wage
Sandy
plan.
would do. I mean, as their salary goes up, their retirement goes up. But
But are they full-time? Are they considered full-time?
37.5 hours.
See, you guys work, what, 29 hours, except on the Saturdays that you're open? It's 29 hours a week. 5 on Monday, 8 Tuesday.
So yeah, that'd be my
8 Thursday,
question,
8
would
Friday.
That's
she,
not what I'm saying, though, because it is based on the fact, if you average in everything at 37.5 hours. Even though, because you're not punching a clock,
Right.
you are based on 37
I
and
was
a
just
half
wondering what New
hours.
Hampshire retirement would say to that, where it's only 29 hours, not 32 or 35 or 37.
But if you're open 5 days a week,
oh, you can set you can set, if you say it's full-time, like you could, what it is, I went to a actual presentation today from
Yeah.
retirement.
Yeah.
If you say like, for like state purposes, retirement's 32 hours or less.
Right.
exactly.
But if the town says, part-time, full-time's 35 or less.
Right, which is what we have, right?
That, oh,
It's
no,
35.
28,
35,
20,
yeah.
28 or whatever the town's one would supersede that.
Yeah.
But I would say that, what is the average, like, in my opinion, if you're gonna make this a benefited position, then they should be, working the same number of hours as.
35.
Right, not the
35.
29.
Okay,
right,
so,
right.
all right, first off, you don't come in at 4 and you don't leave at 8 and leave at 4. You never do, okay? The other night,
Sometimes you're open on evenings.
the other night I was here
I've seen them
until.
here 20 minutes after they're supposed to be gone.
Exactly. Well, the other night I was here almost an hour after because I had people in for 10 minutes after closing. But anyway, that's
Well,
neither
it's
here.
a
That's
salary
neither-
position.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying even though we're only open 29 hours, we're here longer than 29 hours.
I didn't say, oh yeah, I get that.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right? So the 35 hours definitely would be covered. Definitely.
My only question, and this is off this topic, is come March, when you retire, and say the current deputy runs and gets elected, can we post that before March, or do we have to wait for her to get elected, so we're not stuck in a position of shutting down hours because she
deputy?
can't handle the volume?
Okay, you wanna go, we wanna continue on this?
That's just my
No, no,
question.
Might as well get it out while you're
Okay,
here.
all right,
That's my
because
question.
I was going to ask for a special meeting to meet with you guys.
We're
What,
doing pretty good tonight.
yeah,
so
what
let's
I
keep
would
going.
like to
Okay.
do, what I would like to do is I would like to have you post for the deputy position.
Uh-huh.
But in the meantime, let me work with her Monday night, so she's not here alone. Take her Thursday, so she still has her day off, so we don't have to close.
Uh-huh.
And also help her when she has something else going on, like the deliberative session. And, you know, give her some assistance because she's gonna be buried.
Yeah,
Right
that's
off
what,
in the
that's,
beginning.
that's what I'm, that's what I was
Okay?
wondering too.
That was what I would like to do.
In between now and March, you're saying, so post the position, but until we fill it, after you retire, you'd like to do that?
Exactly, only because I'm thinking that it's gonna take you time to fill the position and have that person
Trained.
trained and certified in order to take over.
Right, I mean, I know we dealt with this issue
Yeah.
when Sharon, that's why I was asking.
Exactly, exactly. And if, I have also spoken with Savannah and asked her, would she be comfortable with only having me work those hours as a deputy, not
Yeah.
as a deputy, but as
But
the
basically,
position?
Yep,
And she said yes. So she's comfortable with that, just having, you know,
right, until we get somebody in that position.
until you get somebody in
I
there
don't-
trained and whatever.
Now, with you,
I
and
see no issue
I'll
with
bring it up because I'm talking positions here,
Yep.
not
Not people.
So, not you. So that money that you budgeted for health and dental under, to make the assumption that, if there's a change in that position, should we budget for a like, you don't know somebody's gonna run, could be a family plan.
Right,
if it's-
it needs to be changed,
Yeah, I don't know whether
because it's
she's,
budgeted for the incumbent right now.
Yeah.
right, and I don't know if she's gonna take it or not. How do we know?
You have to make the assumption.
Exactly.
Well, you don't, for all you know, some other
Someone else could
person in
win.
town could run and beat her.
Exactly.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Right.
hopefully
Well,
you're
you
right.
could.
Well, then we got no experience at all unless
You
they
got
are
it.
previously
You got it,
experienced.
you got
That
it.
would be a nightmare.
It's too bad there ain't some sort of rules for running for that particular.
Well,
because
this
that's-
is why I'm hoping everybody that, you know, that knows her so far should be backing. So, I mean, you know, I
would
don't
hope
know
so.
that it'll
She's
be an
done a good
issue.
job.
done a great
She
job.
tries hard.
Yeah,
People
So-
really like Savannah down there
Yeah,
too.
they
I get
do.
nothing but
Yeah.
compliments.
I
yeah.
don't think she'll have any problem, but you never know.
So all I'm saying is for the benefit, you gotta make the
We're
assumption.
gonna have to bump that, mm-hmm.
And then, is there,
So what would that line be bumped to then?
Family?
Gonna have to.
To a,
Two family, one for deputy, one for,
no, because
No,
deputies
deputy
still be
doesn't get-
part-time and don't qualify
no,
for
they don't,
benefits.
that's right, okay.
so then my other question is like, and this isn't saying we're gonna do it, but what would the cost to us if there was, if you did make that position eligible to get state pension, to, retirement system?
11.8% increase? Isn't 11.8%?
Just on the salary line?
Just on the salary.
Could you have that number for our next meeting?
I certainly can, I'll have all of this done, I'll have the family insurance changed too.
Okay.
And the dental. Mm-hmm.
But that's just for discussion purposes with the pension, not the,
Yeah, I won't put the actual line in the budget
Yeah.
because we don't know yet. Okay.
Other than that, I'm pretty much
I
good
have
with
no
this.
questions, unless Scott does.
I'm good.
You all set, Judy?
I'm all set.
Thank you.
Yeah.
for your time.
See, it
Thank
took 10 minutes to cover that and it's done.
Perfect.
I looked at the clock, it was 20
I
after.
feel like we accomplished something.
When you said, I don't know if we want to get into this.
Well, no, because I didn't know if we wanted to wait until after the budget session to talk about that stuff.
No, I mean, you might as well get it
It's
out.
great, we got it done.
Yeah.
Well, as long as there's no one else waiting to be,
Nobody but empty chairs.
Okay.
good.
What are we
Thank you.
on- What are we on to next? Might as well. Patriotic purpose? Might as well write down the list now.
Yeah, it's, every page number's off by one, so patriotic is number 20, page 25.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's level funded, I'm good.
Yeah.
My only question with the Memorial Day one is, They lose a lot of flags in that windstorm, the last Memorial Day.
They don't
That is.
they don't leave them up year round.
No, but we had that, they were up when we had that massive windstorm.
They lost a few. I think I had 3 in my office, so they lost a few, but that's what this money will replace.
Right,
as
I'm
they-
just, my question was, is this enough to replace the ones they lost? That's where I was going with that.
I don't think we lost too many. I think most of them were found, but.
Yeah, we stacked them up. I emailed Dan Barnhart, and he said that he was gonna flat fund us this year.
I'm good with it then. So what's the next one? Legal operations, page 6, 7.
We're on Page 6 now, page 6 on it.
Page 7, you said they were all off. by
Yeah,
one.
I know. I don't know what I did there, DJ. I messed those numbers all up.
It's okay.
Page 7,
Page 6.
6,
6 and 7.
what's that?
Legal.
It's basically level funded again.
So I have a question, because we do have a line in here for claims, judgments and stuff. We do have some pending litigation. Is that likely could be resolved this year, or what, so what I'm saying is there potential we could have a claim in there, and if so, should we budget for it?
The litigation that I think you're talking about went to court on the 1st of this month.
Yeah,
We should hear back, could be in 3 weeks, could be in 3 months.
okay. But what I'm saying is, what is the, could you call, without getting a lot of detail, like for financial reporting, just to get an idea, is it likely, probable, unlikely, how this is, like, usually the attorneys have a pretty good idea how this is gonna pan out. So that
Yeah.
if we do, if there's, I think if there's a potential we're gonna have a claim there that we're gonna have to pay out,
Okay.
we should budget some money there, but also the other is would some of it be covered by the property insurance of the town, liability insurance for the town, I don't know. But those are kind of questions, with the potential pending litigation, depending on the outcome, do we have a possible liability there?
All right.
And if it would be possible to get a monetary estimate.
We'd need that for the auditors at the end of the year anyway, because they asked that same question.
We'll get those numbers.
But at least, I think you should plan for the potential of, I mean, it might not be a contingency, but
Well, assessing.
That is on page 4.
That went up $471. Looks like the increases was tax mapping. It's because of the online tax things, that's it, basically. Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, that's, that $1,000 was the gentleman that came in and talked, well, that day.
You okay with that one too?
no, this is gonna be the new assessing contract, right?
Yes.
That's why it's down a little bit.
So assessing altogether is only up 471.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Personal information.
Is that actually on 8?
No, it's page 7. I don't know what I did there. For personal admin maintenance, I'd like to, I raised that $500. I wanted to do some training next year for staff. But we haven't spent that 2,000, so I'd actually like to take and just flat fund that 500 on the admin maintenance line.
You wanna make it, how much?
I want to make it increase the first line, personal admin maintenance. I want to make that 0 increase. I want to just flat fund that
The 2,000?
at $2,000,
Not 2,500.
not 2,500, yes.
Okay, then the other one that I get is, we were discussing this earlier, the volunteer employee appreciation. We didn't use it this year, so, we gonna keep it, or we gonna?
Typically, the board's the one that releases those
Is this
funds.
the line that we need if we were gonna make our Christmas party a little bit more bigger? Is this the line that
Yeah.
we need to hit to do that? That's, I'm a advocate. I think the old time Christmas parties we had were way better, where everybody could come. It wasn't just stuck to the daytime. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you have it during the day, you have to shut down town hall. You have people that can't go. You have to shut the highway departments.
This also recognizes the volunteers.
I understand that. We used to have the volunteers come to our Christmas party.
Yeah, that,
I mean, we used to reach out to the local companies. They'd give us some donations. We'd have raffles, door prizes. It was actually quite nice.
Mr. Knox used to do all that work and get all the gifts and raffles.
Yeah,
and
it was
all
quite
that.
nice. It was great. If I remember right, I could be wrong. Did we not make it where the couples had to pay for their food? It was basically just the town provided the event venue, and if you wanted to eat or drink, it was on you. So all we would be paying for is the venue.
what are you talking
that
about? The
correct?
ones when we used to have ones in here.
We've had them in a few different
Yeah.
places. I'm just saying, if we were gonna do it, I think it'd get expensive if we were gonna buy meals, because you gotta buy one for the couple. It's not just one for the town employee. So then you gotta factor in, you don't know how many people are gonna show up. So if we just paid for the venue, did a potluck or whatever, if we had the venue at a restaurant, eat at your own cost. That's what a lot of companies do when they have Christmas parties at certain restaurants or whatever. It's just open for discussion, really.
You know, I could ask staff and see what they think, if they would be willing to do something after work or on a weekend.
Well, it's not just the staff though, it's volunteers. I mean, it's,
They used to, once upon a time, they used to like have it was a holiday party where they would invite everybody. Well, no, one time we had a thing where we had a recognition thing and we actually gave out town pins to everybody.
yeah, I got one.
We did that once, and we had a little spread, finger sandwiches and stuff like that.
Nothing major.
Nothing major. Was that at a Christmas party or was that a separate event?
I think that might have been a separate event. Didn't you give out like years of service plaques too?
That
'Cause I
was
got
at the
one of those,
Christmas
too.
party.
Was it?
Yeah, because they used this line to buy the sandwich platters, and the staff all brought a dish for everybody.
I don't have
a problem doing it that way
having
either.
it here and having all the volunteers in it. I think that it's easier for the volunteers and for some of the elected officials to show up in the after 5:30 to 6 or.
It-
And the thing, my only concern is if you invite all the volunteers and staff, is this particular building right here gonna be big enough?
Well, we had it in this room before.
Yeah, okay.
We've done it.
Hopefully, yeah, I'd like to see it get to the point where this room.
And you could actually ask everyone to bring a dish,
Yeah,
volunteers
that's-
included.
yeah.
Last time we did it here like that, it was the staff that did all the dishes. And you can't really ask that of the
You
staff.
could just, yeah, bring a dish.
If you're gonna come, everyone that comes brings a dish to
Bring a
share.
dish, potluck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could even do, if you wanted to do a Yankee swap, it's possible. There's many, you could do so many different scenarios. I just know that some people have asked me to bring back the volunteer, the community.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think it's a good idea.
So maybe we can use that $1,000 that's in that line and do that this year. Seems we didn't use it we haven't used it yet. And then keep it at, do you think 1,000 for next year's enough? Or do you wanna bump it so we can do something in the summer and something in the winter?
I mean, I wanna take a look at the overall budget, but I think we leave that at 1,000. I think that probably, I think that's a reasonable amount.
That's reasonable to me. So do you think we could fix that up before Christmas to get a decent Christmas party in the afternoon?
Yes,
5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever's reasonable.
I have Diane and Dee tag teaming that. We'll see what they come up with.
Maybe
Like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the afternoon?
I mean, that's,
have to be that late, 'cause a lot of people
It's
work.
dinner
you know what I mean,
time.
for a
That's
living.
dinner time.
I think we
A
had.
lot of our volunteers have jobs,
I
you know
think,
what
I think, last time we had it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock it started, and I told them about 7:30.
Or whenever everybody leaves, doesn't, you know?
Well, no, but I mean, you can say.
Yeah, right.
You say
Right, you
like
set a time and if nobody.
From 5:30 to 7, or, 6 to 7:30.
Potluck is simple. I mean, if you wanna look out for, look up to some of the small business and see if they wanna do some donations for door prizes, that's really up to you guys. I think we used to do it quite a bit. We used to get quite a bit of stuff.
I know some of the boards I'm on, there's people that work daily jobs and they probably aren't available before 5:30 at night.
It's
So
gonna,
I
well,
think
you
it would
can't,
have to be,
the problem is the time we set, not everybody's gonna be able to make
but I
it.
realize that, but you can't expect people to take time off from work.
I think 5:30 to
Christmas
7, at
party.
least if they can get here in between that time, is decent. They
No,
got 2
I
hours
agree
to
with
get
that.
here, 5:30 to 7:30, and they got 2 hours to food.
At least if they want to attempt to make it, they can.
Well,
Right.
And I don't know, I'm asking the question. Is the Christmas party that was already set up and the mail has already gone out to request people to come to this year's Christmas party?
I saw
Is
something
this
about
a volunteer and
I'd
employee
like to
party,
start
or is this
making it-
only an employee party?
I'd like to
This is
start making it
staff.
both.
This is a staff party.
And
So
they
if we
got
want-
separated because, I know Scott might remember this, they used to do a thing at night for all the volunteers separate, the Board of Selectmen put that on. The staff puts on their own Christmas party so that we're not using town funds. You know how we all bring a dish
You guys
at
can
lunch?
still do that if you
And we
want.
do our own Yankee swap because it got separated because the board started doing that nightly thing with platters and stuff for the volunteers. So the staff was doing their own Yankee swap and no cost to the town.
So we can
So
do a
that's why that was
volunteer
done that
thing
way.
this year. I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's just why it was done that way.
I think if you guys wanna have your own office holiday party, I'm not gonna stop you. But I think having one together like we used to,
We still do with all the departments. Yeah.
and the volunteers, I'm talking about
Oh.
like all together. Like, I know last year you did a cookout where the staff and volunteers came together. That's what I'm talking about for a Christmas party. If you guys wanna have your own office one.
Yeah,
and
that's
not-
what that is.
And not shut down and have a little, we used to do that at my other job. We'd all bring in a dish, we'd have like a little hour lunch, and we'd all eat, and then we'd go back to work.
Yeah, let's, we can definitely do something. I would love to get the volunteers in. They're the ones that actually,
We
they
hear a
do
lot
the
of
town.
complaints.
I mean, we can use a little bit of that $1,000 to
Really?
get some, we
I
can get
have.
some plate, yeah, I've heard a lot of volunteers have approached me and said, why don't we do the Christmas party together? I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, no, we should.
And we can use that $1,000 to get some platters, maybe we can get some prizes too with it.
You can give it a shot, right? See how it works.
Get the word out there.
Yeah, all right. We'll do a volunteer Christmas party.
I don't know what kind, volunteer and town employee.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just pick a date, a good date.
All right.
Guess we're ready to move on.
That's all I had for that one. I'm good with the rest of it. Medical services?
This is the bottom of 14 going on to 15, page 15.
Dollar.
I'm good.
That looks good.
Donations, page 24.
Yeah, we got donations.
Donations is actually on 25, 25, 26. Oh, 30, 25.
I've got 2 budgets in there. That's how much, what's that?
The Beanhole Bash has been zeroed. We actually have a letter from the Beanhole Bash Committee, and they have requested that we not fund them anymore. They don't feel they need the funds, and they don't want to be taking tax dollar if they don't need it. And they've asked the board with the understanding if they should have a year where they do need it, would they be considered, you know, if they,
Can we leave it at $1 for that
Put a
purpose? then?
dollar.
okay. I'll
Leave
put
it at $1, so then that way it's there. It doesn't
Yeah.
eliminate.
And then,
the line.
if they need it in a future year, they'll come
just
before the
add.
board before, or during budget season
We'll leave
with
it
a,
at
with a
$1.
letter of request.
Yeah, we'll leave it at,
Okay,
leave it at $1, so that way
Yep.
it's an open line.
perfect.
That's it, right?
I think that's it.
That's it. Got any, we got this?
In this packet, we have the regular pay manifest and then the stipends for fire
We need to
department.
have some conversation about
Well,
that.
let's do the regular payroll first.
Sandy might want to hang on for a minute too.
Do you know, if you want me to, I could leave if you want me to leave.
We'll do this now. I'll make a motion to approve manifest P 217, number 23, in the amount of $47,715.34.
Second.
And this is payroll.
All right, any discussion?
None.
Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Aye.
Okay. And then this one, I'm gonna make a motion just so we can discuss this. So I'll make a motion to approve manifest P 2017 number 23 stipends in the amount of $32,533.24.
I'll second for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, the reason that is over the $30,000 budget line is there is one check for a certain firefighter who, on his timesheet, I was 15 hours off because I was looking at someone else's timesheet. There is a correction in that one because he gets a stipend as well for 15 hours regular payroll. That is why it's over the 30,000.
Okay.
My
so-
error, I own it.
So why is it over why is that being put on here and not on the other one?
Because at the time, I didn't want him to wait 2 weeks. He should have been paid in this one. It was my mistake. I had payroll open to do this. Let's pay him and put it in there.
Okay,
because it's
so
still
what
payroll.
happens is, what happens for hyper, okay, thank you.
Okay?
All right.
So anyways, I'll, if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Sure.
so, not going into a lot of detail, I received a phone call, but there's some concerns about, I would suggest that, we table this and, so they have an opportunity for this to get audited. I got a phone call, somebody expressed some concerns about, some inaccuracies in this report. And I don't want to criticize anybody, but my understanding is that we had some firefighters that were at one time explorers that became firefighters that, and I don't want to get into that, but I would like to enable our finance people to take a look at this and review the documentation. And then we have a meeting next Tuesday, correct?
On the 14th, yes.
So I suggest that we table this till the 14th.
I'll second that.
I would just like to say I had some conversation with some people about it, and I think it's in our best interest to make sure that we have it right before we pay people, because once we pay them, and if we overpay them, then we have a problem getting our money back.
To Rick, I had some same conversation. I think a lot of the concern is there was too many people putting in the hours and not a consistent person doing it. And that is a problem that we need to address in the future, because you can't have 6 people doing one thing and you're never gonna get an accurate reading. We need one person to do this, not 15.
And I
It
would
needs to
also
be done on
suggest,
payroll.
I would
Needs to be done on
also
a weekly
suggest that
basis.
is,
Right.
yeah, I would just like, it is my understanding that you received this morning.
That is correct. It was in my email at 5:45 this
So my
morning.
point is you didn't have enough time to properly vet this. I will tell you that in organizations I've been involved with the payroll, other than this place, usually the stuff's sent in, like, the whole payroll process,
It's
you'll
got
have
a
to,
deadline to be in.
deadline to be in, and
Right, and I can't answer to why it wasn't posted down there on November 1st. I just know we have by law 10 days to pay them from the end of their payroll period, which was October 31st. We have until Thursday the 9th, because Friday's the 10th and it's a holiday, we're closed. So anytime after Thursday, at the close of business,
what
we're late.
actually,
We're late on the payroll.
so what's that mean?
Any one of them can file a complaint with the Department of Labor.
And then
Whether
what,
they will or not, I don't know.
and then what happens is. then
They'll
we
come
pay-
down and do another investigation,
And then we pay, oh, we could get
and you
fined.
get fined. So,
If-
I have another question if you don't mind.
Could we pay the person that has the actual wages though?
Yes. The other question is, some of those people are actually direct deposit, which means because of the way the direct deposits work, it has to be done 48 hours before the payroll date. In our case, we barely made it because we did it today, payroll's tomorrow. The ones that are direct deposit is gonna be in their bank accounts tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Even if we don't sign
Even
that?
if you don't sign it, because it's automatic, it's a wire, it's direct deposit, that's how it works. So I can do one of two things. I can call TD Bank first thing in the morning and have them withdraw that money out.
What is that legal?
If I could chime in on this, this is very frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
The way that the fire department and now the board of selectmen are going forward with this is completely incorrect. The young person that made this, there's 27 people, one person is claiming there's a problem. Okay, now, so what we're saying is this one person is right and the other 27 people are wrong.
I didn't,
And then-
for
and then-
the record,
well, no,
Joe,
I know,
for
but
the record,
listen.
hold on a second, for the record.
Joe,
I
this
didn't-
should have been long before
I didn't-
5:30 this morning.
But what I'm saying, let me finish this,
Did
please let me
anybody
finish it.
mention a name? Did
Nobody
anybody
mentioned
say
any
a
names.
So you're making the assumption just one person
He
complained?
already knows.
I know the complaint. I know, I've been here all day. So we got one complaint. What should happen? The fire department has a process, the town has a process. It works with payroll the same way.
Should happen is
They-
you should stop having meetings in the back room with certain employees, is what should happen.
What happens is the payroll gets paid. If there's an error, Sandy reviews and she corrects. That's the process that should take place.
She didn't have time to adequately review this.
I can't review any stipend reports ever, never
Now,
have,
okay.
because the reports they use that are in their Tempsys report, I don't have access to. I spoke with the fire chief 2 weeks ago, and I said to him, if you struggle this year, because this is a struggle every year down there, it's a battle for 13 years. Bring your reports up on each call with the list of employees on each call. I can match it to timesheets. I can pull the boxes from last November. I can sit and match timesheet for shift coverage versus call points. He refused to give me the information and said, I didn't need that information. I can't match anything, Scott. I have to, and always have, had to go by what they give me because they have the backup.
Okay,
I don't
so
have the backup.
So as finance, you say I need that information.
I did. He didn't give it to me.
Well, then.
I can't force it. It's got to be a director from the Board of Selectmen.
He can
guys,
influence it.
what happened is we have a discrepancy in pay. Despite the Nick thing, I'm sorry, the fire department or the finance, we have a discrepancy in pay.
Yeah, and more
But
than
wait-
one person.
I got one person
There's
that
more
made a
than one
complaint.
person.
One person made a
There's
complaint.
explorers that were paid for the whole year that weren't full-time firemen.
Did they-
too.
I got one complaint.
I don't care how many.
I don't know who,
I don't care how many you got.
That
We
one
heard from other
complaint
people
covers
too.
more than one person.
that's one person made a complaint. And that,
Doesn't mean that that one person's complaint doesn't cover more than one person.
what should happen is now, if there's a complaint, you pay them out, and then you, after Sandy reviews the documentation, you then adjust. To hold up,
can I ask
this
you-
will hold up
Stop.
everybody's pay.
Stop.
We should have had this long before 5:30 this
I
morning.
have one question, okay?
And we wouldn't be where we are.
After you pay these out, the stipends,
Yes,
after they're paid out,
okay.
how do you correct this? Because I know some people, all they do is get the stipends, right? So how do you correct this after this gets paid off, they're not salary?
You can't.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ask.
You can't. It's illegal. It's illegal.
Well,
to-
shit.
It's illegal to withhold it from their pay. That's a state law. You cannot withhold anything from an employee's pay except deductions and standard deductions. You cannot withdraw pay back. So you can't fix it. Once it's paid, it's up to them to be on the honor system to turn it back to the town. That's the law.
So if we, but is there a complaint of overpaying?
I think if they got overpaid and you know they got overpaid, you can,
That happened to an employee. And Brent, a former town administrator, we researched it. And that's exactly what they said. It's up to the employee to give it back to you. The only thing you can do is write the employee up. Right. Right, so,
I think,
All right, so if you can't fix it, how do you remedy it, Joe?
my understanding is you can pull that money back. If somebody has too much money, if you overpay them,
Yeah, I know, that sounds crazy.
Did we
If
just
somebody
have this
gets
happen?
overpaid by $2,000.
no, that was a duplicate payment. That's not the wrong payment. It was duplicate, and that was the bank error. That's not our error.
No, I'm talking
But we
about
pulled the
somebody
money
got paid for
That was
10
the
hours.
bank did the wire twice.
I beg the difference. Somebody got overpaid by 10 hours, and you caught that after the fact.
We adjust it on the next payroll. We don't withdraw it. You cannot, right.
So
And there
can
is no
we
other
adjust-
next
so
payroll.
can
There's
we-
no other payroll. What are you gonna adjust it
Some of
on?
these guys aren't on the payroll.
adjust the stipends.
How can you?
What,
adjust
next
the
year?
stipend?
Next year.
No way. They might not be here next year. You know
Just
what,
saying.
Joe?
We have, what I'm saying is, guys, we had a process and it was circumvented. We're trying to let the fire department,
Everything is circumvented.
and
There
that's a
is
problem.
There is a problem down
There
there.
is.
And we begged them to straighten out the problem down there, and they want to keep fighting. They're still fighting every day of the week.
Well, this is how we let them handle it, though. They have to fall
How
down
can
to
you
be
let
able
them
to stand.
handle it when they can't?
Well, if they can't, then you move into discipline.
This was here at 5:30 this morning. It should have been here before that point.
It should have been here yesterday,
It was due yesterday. They
They-
should have posted it on the 1st.
so they let the staff
So
review.
no one had a chance to bicker about this prior.
They-
If it had been posted on the 1st, people could have made their complaints instead of getting it railroaded down their throat tonight.
They met last night and they looked at these.
Yeah?
And the person that's complaining specifically asked for information and was denied it.
And
Yes.
I did hear that, but I don't know what she was asked for. And, but
You know
they,
It doesn't matter what she asked
I'm
for.
gonna
She
settle
said
this
she did,
easy
she
right
denied
now. We're gonna hold it and that's it. Whether they like it or not.
It's the
I don't,
selectmen's
well,
decision.
here's my question. I don't wanna hold it and then get fined by Department of Labor.
We're gonna get sued either way we do it.
There will be no
Guarantee it.
lawsuit.
We're gonna have the Department of, if we pay this out, we're gonna have Department of Labor called. If we don't pay it out, we're probably gonna have Department of Labor called. One way or the other.
There-
I can guarantee you that if we pay this out, Department of Labor will get called. This is what I've been told.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
She,
Either way, we're gonna get Department of Labor
You know what?
called.
People need to bury the
And if she's
hatchet
right,
and get along.
if she's right,
I
And
agree with you,
shows
but
us
you
that
gotta
we're
let them
wrong?
handle it.
Well, you know what? They haven't handled it, Joe. This has been going on for 6 months.
But-
We've had them in here 3 times and begged them to work together, straighten this fire department out, and it doesn't happen.
You and me have been at those
It
same
doesn't
meetings.
happen.
But if somebody makes a
And
complaint,
this isn't gonna, this right here isn't gonna help a bit.
if somebody makes a complaint up this high, though, now the people in the middle don't have the opportunity to fix the problem. It just comes up to up here, and then we yell at them. What are you doing?
Because
That's
it
because they
falls-
can't go to
it
the people
falls
if they're
on
not
deaf
gonna
ears
listen.
down there.
they're not gonna listen and give them the information. How can they go to those people? Of course, if I'm at a job and I tell my
You know
supervisor
what? We gotta
something,
go into non-public so we can
If I'm at a
discuss this,
job-
then we can use names.
if I'm at a job and I go to my supervisor and he doesn't do anything about what I've gone to, I go above him. That's the way it works.
Yes, but
That's what they're doing. That's
No.
what this person's complaining. She went to the meeting, she asked for information, she was denied it. Now she's coming to us.
no, she didn't follow
Yes,
the
that's
process
exactly
at all.
what happened.
It's not.
Well, she was at the
Okay.
meeting last night. They should have straightened it out last night. We wouldn't be here discussing it tonight.
I agree, but
So
from
two
what
rights
I,
don't make a wrong.
I think this is,
Two wrongs don't make a
I
right
think
either.
this is something that should not be discussed in public. You're talking
we're
personal.
getting,
I
we're getting,
agree.
yeah, we're getting close.
I agree.
Well, we have no more other business. I think we don't have any other business that could.
I'll come in and sign it on Thursday, Wednesday if it's straightened out. I have no problem signing it, once it's straightened out.
So I guess my question to the board is, do you want me to review the stipends versus timesheets? Do you want me to call Nick and tell him to bring the documentation up to my office? Thank you. I just need direction from the
I
board.
think that we
Yes,
require an audit trail.
Yep.
And for us to complete this, I need that document. I'm not saying the board.
okay, and I will go through it and I will match it up to what he gave me. That's fine.
We can sign it on Tuesday, we can sign it on Wednesday, as long as it's straightened
I
out.
want to make, can I amend my motion?
Thank you, because I can't.
Go ahead.
We're in the middle.
We're in the middle of a meeting, please.
Well, obviously, he doesn't care.
Why would you, I'm sorry, we're in a meeting. What, was that?
We had a member of the public come in and ask a question.
That's
He
why we
looked-
have,
looked
that's why we,
directly at me.
that's why we have citizens forum.
Yeah. All right, listen. Can you pull back your second?
I'll pull back my second.
Okay. I'm gonna pull back my motion. Okay, I would like to change my motion to, I would like to come in, I would like to have, my motion is to have the supporting documentation for the stipends supplied to the town administrator and finance person to be reviewed. And then I'll make a motion to approve this after that review, and that, and that we would each come in on, like Wednesday after work or Thursday morning to approve this manifest after it's been properly reviewed.
I'll second that motion.
And that we can contact, as long as this gets paid by Thursday, we're all right?
Thursday at the close of business.
So we can hold the thing off tomorrow and ask them to hold this off because it's an issue?
Hold the bank wires. I
Yeah.
have to call the bank first thing in the morning.
Well, what's like first thing? What time do you have to get a hold of them?
They don't even open until 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, is this, well,
So it may already
Just so
be
you
in their
know-
accounts. It may already be in their accounts. There's only 4 of them that could direct deposit.
All right, so if something happens with those 4,
We can adjust those 4 if their points are higher than what's on the report.
Man.
I can add to it.
I think we
I
let
can't
those-
undo it.
so,
I think we let those 4 go, because if it's only 4, there's nothing we can do.
all right.
And we,
But
obviously,
then, but I'd
obviously
like
they're
to
still
give,
under.
I would like to give the opportunity to have this research, and then we come in on our own to sign the manifest.
Good.
That's my new motion.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 So I guess I kick this back.
Just put it right in
You
the
know, it's sad
payroll.
we have to have this confusion.
Just put it right
This
in the payroll.
stipend thing has been a pain in the neck.
Since I've been here every year.
Yes, it's
Every
been that way
year
for
it's a
13 years
problem.
since I've been here.
Hopefully, we can get it straightened out, come up with a better system, and then we won't have any problems. Okay,
Am I all set? Do you still
I guess
need me
you're
here?
all set, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want-
I have one more thing for the board. There's been a request for some adjustment at the transfer station. Ms. Dow would like it if the board would allow us to move the old highway, let me think about it, what do you call it? The old the highway trailer over to where the current television, the TVs are sitting, and use that to store light bulbs and non-ferrous metals.
No. Why would we, what are they gonna do with the stuff that's in there,
And where?
in the building?
I think
That's currently there now.
there's 2 push mowers and there's a few things. They would just move it into the recycle building, into the highway
Well,
department.
the thing is
We're gonna move the building?
when we
Move the
when we
whole trailer.
How are
originally,
you gonna move the building?
Flatbed trailer,
it's gonna cost.
How much that gonna cost?
$375.
Originally, when we
To move
originally when we decided to take
That's what I
non-ferrous
thought. It sounded like a
metals,
lot too.
when we originally decided to take non-ferrous metals, they were gonna be held in the highway department. So why are we changing that for 1? For 2, I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not changing anything in the transfer station until we put an actual gate in there to stop people from going in there when we're not open. When I go by at 2 o'clock in the morning and the gate's wide open, that's a little ridiculous. And when I go in there on a Wednesday with no prior any knowledge of this, and the whole upper part is parked with cars, so you can't even use the transfer station when it's open, is also unacceptable.
Did you what day was it open at 2 a.m.?
It's been a few days. It's been open at 8 o'clock at night. It's been open pretty much every time I've gone by when we're not open.
The gate has been open?
The
Yes.
problem is,
Problem is they don't shut it when they leave either.
Yeah.
the problem is, we need to
We need to
move
get
the
a new
gate
gate,
back.
period.
I don't wanna blame it on anybody about the gate being open. We need to take it up on ourselves to move the gate back, so when the highway guys go in and out, We've got a gate that closes automatically behind them.
We need a
And
new
then-
gate,
Because there's
period.
people in there dumping trash when no one is around.
People in there
Because the
raiding,
gate's open.
people in there raiding the swap shop when we're not open. We need a new gate that's actually gonna shut when we're not open and we're not in there. It's not that hard to get a little key fob. When you go by, you click it, you go out, it shuts behind you.
I think that's the first step we need to take, is to get the place secure
Yep.
and get it so we can control who's going in and out. Then we move on from there.
Yep. All right.
I don't know what the cost is gonna be to do a gate, but whatever it is, we need to do it.
I think it
Do we
can come out,
purchase the gate out of, if it's a gate for a transfer station,
we can do it out of the fund.
well, is it a gate for transfer station or a gate for the highway department?
Well,
Thing
it's
is,
gonna be
gotta
up to
for
block
both.
off.
How can you say it's for one and not the other? Because they're both in the same spot. That's the key. What, you can say it's for the transfer station, but it depends on, I guess, the clerical thing that you're talking about. If we put it up higher so people can still get in to get their sand, I guess that would technically be the transfer station. Right now, where it's at, it's actually protecting the highway department stuff. So I guess it's,
You can still get sand when the gate's closed where
I
it is
know, but
now, 'cause
I-
they put it on the outside of the gate.
I think either way we need a gate, regardless of where the money, you need a new gate, period. It needs to be shut. I can understand they don't want to get out and shut it every time they leave, but it needs to be shut when we're not, when our highway department's not there, it should not be open. When we're not open at the transfer station, that gate should not be open. Plain and simple.
All right, I'll get you guys some numbers.
I drove in there a week ago and there was bags of garbage sitting in front of the hopper because the gate was open.
It's been a long,
Evidently,
it's been
someone
a
drove
long,
around the
it's been a
gate
long-term
and left their
issue.
garbage there. Unless the boys picked it up somewhere on the side of the road and didn't happen to throw it in the hopper. But I saw half a dozen bags sitting there one day
I
when
see
I drove
cars
in.
coming in and out
I
of there
drove
all the
around the
time.
gate because I saw another car go up in there, and come to find out, he was a salesman that was looking for Charlie.
I've seen
I
cars
happened to be going
in
by
out.
and I saw the car going in, so I made a U-turn, went back, and it was a salesman selling product. So, I mean, it's a hard thing, you know, the controls going in and out.
Guys, that's all I had, besides the trailer being moved, that's all I had for you. I do
I
have,
think we're gonna do that non-public.
I do have some non-public, I do have very quick
We
non-public.
have to do, I think we have to do a regular discussion non-public,
Yep. Right.
because it's personnel. That's it, maybe we can chat, tax the facility committee to look in that. I mean, I'm thinking a little key bob or punch code or whatever. That doesn't mean everybody gets the code either. You can put a little call box, so if a salesman comes in and he doesn't have the code, he hits the little button that calls down to Charlie's little office, and Charlie hits a little button and the door opens and he comes in. It's pretty simple logic. That's it, it's going non-public, what are we going in under?
You got A and C tonight.
A and C, so
Yes, sir.
can make a roll call.
I'll make a motion to go into non-public under 91A 3 colon A, I'm sorry, colon, RSA 91A 3, paragraph 2, A and C.
Second.
Roll call.
Donald Hush and I.
Rick Wolf, yes.
Scott Breyer, yes.
And now I'm on public.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of non-public.
Second.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Donald Hush and I.
Rick Wolf, yes.
Scott Breyer, yes.
And now out of non-public.
Yeah, and now I'd like to make a motion to seal the non-public minutes.
Second.
Discussion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 3-0.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.